But in personal strategic planning, you have to ask, how do you increase the return on energy for you as a professional in sales and service excellence by farming or developing your territory? If you look upon your sales territory as a farm that you have to fertilize and cultivate and nourish, then you'll find that in your territory, the second principle of strategic planning and strategic thinking is concentration. How do you concentrate your energies? How do you use the 80-20 rule so that you maximize the sales and revenues that are possible from the territory for which you are responsible? Let me start off by giving you the difference between key accounts and smaller accounts in territory management. And it's very, very important. Imagine that we have a graph, and here is the graph. And this is zero, and this is value. And up here we have the small sale. And the small sale is over here, and we have the large sale. And now we have the differentiators between the two. You have here a graph of what you might call trust. In the small sale, trust can be very low. Here you have a graph of what you might call pressure. And in the small sale, the pressure can be very high. Now, what are the differences between the accounts? Well, this account requires more than anything else, it requires frequency of contact. It's getting out there, seeing as many people as you possibly can, throwing as much mud at the wall and hoping that it helps. This requires strategy. The large account requires strategy and far, far more thinking in advance. Second of all, the small accounts require efficiency, using your time well so you can cover the greatest amount of ground in the shortest period of time. The large accounts require effectiveness, using your time and your resources to their very best to maximize your potential in that territory. This small accounts require activity. High levels of activity, so large accounts require planning. And planning is one of the most important single things you do to develop and maximize your territory. And finally, the small accounts require more small accounts, and the larger accounts require larger accounts that have greater market potential. Now, here is where the future of our business lies. It's here. The future of your business is to develop the big accounts in your territory. The future of your business comes from analyzing and thinking through your business and your accounts before you begin throwing yourself at them. Remember, small accounts, small sales is high frequency, efficiency activity, and more of them, high pressure and low trust. Your job is low pressure to no pressure, high trust, large sales, strategy, effectiveness, planning, and make much, much more money. Which brings us to the reasons for this. Number one is there's fewer accounts available. In your territory, there are fewer key accounts available. And so therefore, you cannot waste a single account. In your territory, there may only be 8 major potential accounts. If you blow an account because you don't work on that account properly, then you can't go back to it. You now only have 7. The potential in each one of these is greater. The amount of revenues possible from one large account in your territory can be as much as in 8 or 10 or 20 or 50 others. Number 3, the cost of failure is significant. If you lose this account to a competitor, it can cost you an enormous amount of business. And number 4 is more planning is required. Now, here's the basic rule. It's called the 20-80 rule, is that 80% of your results are largely going to be determined by the 20% of time that you spend planning before you visit the client the first time. Planning is the critical determinant of your success in large account, key account sales, and territory development. There are 5 major knowledge areas required for planning and managing your market strategically. First of all, you've got to have company knowledge. You have to know the past, the present, and future of the companies that you're dealing with before you go to see them. Second of all, you've got to have product and service solutions knowledge. You've got to know what your products or services will do for the customer so that you can pick the best customers and you can talk to them intelligently. Number 3 is you've got to have an understanding of the marketplace. You've got to know what sort of situation your customers face in the marketplace. Pressures, economic changes, downsizing, consolidation, and so on. 4 is you've got to know the competition. You can't beat competition if you can't see them. You can't hit a target you can't see. Who else is going after that account with you? And number 5 is your job. Is you have to know your job well. You have to be a professional. You have to really know what you're doing. Now, this being said, here are the rules with regard to strategy. Number 1, Action without planning is the cause of every failure. It used to be that we would go out, have an experience, and come back and say, geez, what happened? Today what you have to do is you have to think in advance and you have to plan before you act.